Hi, my name's Brian Horn, and I'm currently the chair of the Teacher Education Department at Dallas Christian College. Dallas Christian College is a faith-based institute that is located really right at the cusp of Farmers Branch, Texas, and Dallas, Texas. So I will say that I probably asked my candidates a lot about their teaching philosophy and why they want to teach. And honestly, I probably haven't been asked that question in a while, so this is a very good mental exercise to put together maybe a video of my philosophy about education and why I want to teach or why I have taught. So I'm in my 22nd year. I've taught in both Oklahoma and Texas. And matter of fact, I taught for 13 years in Carrollton Farmers Branch. About the last 5 years, I've been teaching in higher education. So in Colorado, I taught at Colorado Mesa University, and then I moved back to Texas, and now I'm chairing and teaching within the teacher education department at DCC. But nonetheless, I guess the idea behind why I wanted to teach is that I'm maybe going to take this from a different angle, is that I think we're all blessed with obviously gifts and talents, and I think we spend a piece of our life trying to explore what we're gifted and talented in. Not to say we don't have other gifts and talents, but I think there's some that really make an impact on other people. And I felt, well, teaching was perhaps one of those that I could share with others. And although this sounds cliche, and it probably is to some degree, my actual the premise, or perhaps the fundamentals of my philosophy are that all students can learn. I think those of us that have been in the profession in any short or long amount of time realize that all students can learn. They just learn at a very different pace. They all bring different backgrounds. They all have different resources that they can use in the classroom. Some have many resources. Some lack motivation, some have a tremendous amount of motivation, some have growth mindsets, some have fixed mindsets. But I think the basis there is that all students can learn. I think the other capacity of my philosophy is that all students deserve the opportunity to be educated. And again, I think those are both a bit cliche, but I think anybody who teaches probably has a little of those two things embedded in their own philosophy, is that students can learn and students deserve to be taught. So I guess those are the two premises. And I'm not big on redistributing wealth. I understand that there are some districts that have more resources than other districts, and we went into a lot of those legal arguments not too long ago in the state of Texas about the Robin Hood laws and taking those resources or monetary resources essentially from one district and giving them to the other. I don't know if that's right or wrong. I'm as a student, I was educated in rural Oklahoma, so you always kind of the joke was that you never know when you're poor. You never, if you don't have anything to compare it to. And I guess that was kind of, I had phenomenal teachers because they cared. I had phenomenal teachers because they knew their content. So, the resources are instrumental, but they're not the be-all and end-all. I think as long as you have kind of those two fundamental pieces in your philosophy about student learning and student opportunity, then I think those are key. So what I hope to gain from this course, and just I guess a little bit, this kind of ties into the something special about me. I don't know if it's something special. It's probably a little bit different than probably most people are approaching this particular principal certification or the degree in ed leadership. But in 2009, I finished my doctorate at the University of North Texas in curriculum and instruction, and my minor was in ed leadership. So actually, I've taken this class before. It was a very different setup. It was a face-to-face course, and so the dynamics were different. But I will say the two things that I hope to really gain. One is that while at Creekview High School in Carrollton Farmers Branch, I guess I should give a little bit of background. I was the director of law and criminal justice. We have an academy there, so it's kind of like a magnet program. So I've always been infatuated with legal aspects of education, or just law in general, but certainly legal aspects of education. Kind of the challenge between the federal government and the state governments. Certainly, I joked around with some of the other professors at Colorado because they're a Common Core state, and coming from Texas and being the only professor from Texas and on the faculty there, and at least in the teacher ed department, they would always ask, "You think Texas is going to be a Common Core state?" And I said, "Well, not unless the United States military gets involved. No, Texas is not going to be Common Core." So, and that kind of goes along with the challenge between state level education and national, and how national funding is going to be involved. And Texas has always been pretty quick to say, leave us alone. We're going to do it our way. So with that, kind of the legal aspects and the challenges between, and it's kind of perfect for this first part of the course in regards to federalism, essentially, the challenges between national and state government, and how Texas is going to continue to do it, however Texas wants to do it. I think so. So being kind of a legal junkie helps. I think the other piece that I want to learn from the course is the pragmatism. Now, I don't know if I'm ever going to actually be a principal or pursue that, be an administrator. Maybe one day. So I'm kind of backing into this program very differently than most probably other students who are in this program. But the pragmatism of it. I guess that's probably with everything that I learn, whether it's this course or any other courses. That am I going to use this? Is this going to be something that I can apply in my position or my job? Certainly, I'm going to be taking pieces of it as a professor and probably scaffolding and rolling that into some of the things that I'm teaching here on my campus. As quick reminders of, hey, these are some of the perimeters that you have as a teacher, and these are some of the perimeters that you have as a school. So I'm looking for that for sure as a huge piece of this particular course, and not just this course, but all courses. But I'm excited about the course. I'm excited to meet people, who are in the class as well, even though it's kind of a virtual meeting nonetheless. But I am absolutely excited to kind of be back as a student. I know that probably is not what most people would say, but I'm here, so I'm looking forward to the course.